Okay, so let's move along here in Unit 8. Remember, we're talking about work and employment. And now we're going to move on to Lesson B. All right, so let's talk a little bit before we get into Lesson B. Let's talk about a new tense, okay? Present perfect continuous tense. All right, this is a new tense. Now we've been using this tense when we've had discussions and things like that, but this is our first formal introduction to this tense. All right, and the tense is present perfect continuous. All right, the present perfect continuous tense, also called present perfect progressive tense, is used to show that an action started in the past and has continued up to the present moment. All right, so it happened in the past and it is still going to now. Okay, the present perfect continuous usually emphasizes, which means deals with, right, duration, or the amount of time that an action has been taking place. Okay, so we don't use the present perfect continuous tense for everything. Usually we use it, when we're talking about duration, meaning time, or the amount of time that an action has been taking place. All right, so again, present perfect continuous tense or present perfect progressive tense, they're the same thing, okay? Talks about duration, the amount of time it takes from something that happened in the past to now. Okay? Present perfect continuous tense forms. The present perfect continuous tense is formed using has or have plus been or been plus present participle. All right? That's a lot of stuff. The present perfect continuous tense is formed by using has or have plus been plus present participle. All right, so let's break that down. Let's slow down and let's break it down little by little so we know exactly what this means. All right, using has or have been. All right, so this is whether you use has or have depends on who you're talking about. All right, I have been, you have been, he, she, it has been, they have been, we have been. Okay, so you should be pretty familiar with this. We've been talking about this through all the other tenses. All right, so when we have first person, I have, you have. When we're talking about somebody else, he, she, or it has. When we're talking about a group of people, they have and we have. Okay? So that's what this means. All right? Questions are written by switching the subject and has or have. So let me say that again. Questions are written by switching the subject and has or have, depending on what you're talking or who you're talking about. Okay? Negatives are made with not. All right? So let's look at some examples so that we understand what this is saying. All right? So here's a regular statement or a regular sentence. You have been waiting here for 2 hours, right? You have been waiting here for 2 hours. Present, so that is using has plus been plus present participle. Questions. Now this is where questions are written by switching the subject and has or have, depending on who you're talking about or who you're talking to. Okay? So here's the question. Have you been waiting here for 2 hours? Okay, see how we switched the subject and the have or the has, depending on who you're talking to or talking about. In this case, it's you, right? You have been waiting here for 2 hours. Have you been waiting here for 2 hours? Okay, let's look at the negatives, because negatives are made with not. All right, you have not been waiting here for 2 hours. You have not, that's the negative, been waiting here for 2 hours. Okay, so that's how we're using the present perfect continuous form. The present perfect continuous tense is formed using has or have, depending on who you're talking to or talking about, plus been, plus the present participle. Okay? You have been waiting here for 2 hours. Questions are written by switching the subject and the have, the has or the have, depending on who you're talking to or what you're talking to. Okay? Have you been waiting here for 2 hours? Negatives are made with not. Negatives are made with not. You have not been waiting here for 2 hours. All right? Hopefully you understand that. If not, please pause or stop this video and rewind it and go through it again. If you don't get it, please let me know, and I'll send you some more information, or we'll get on a Zoom meeting and talk about it and get you to this point where you understand the present perfect continuous form. All right? Present perfect continuous form. So we're going to do some more examples. We're going to look at some more examples. All right? We're going to look at the positive, which is the statements, the negative statements, and questions. Okay? Positive statement. I have been sleeping. I have been sleeping. Negative statement. I have not been sleeping. I have not been sleeping. Question. Have I been sleeping? Have I been sleeping? Positive statement. You have been sleeping. Negative. You have not been sleeping. Question. Have you been sleeping? Positive. We have been sleeping. Negative. We have not been sleeping. Question. Have we been sleeping? Positive statement. They have been sleeping. Negative. They have not been sleeping. Question. Have they been sleeping? Positive statement. He has been sleeping. Negative statement. He has not been sleeping. Question. Has he been sleeping? Positive statement. She has been sleeping. Negative statement. She has not been sleeping. Question. Has she been sleeping? And then the last one, positive statement. It has been sleeping. Negative statement. It has not been sleeping. Question. Has it been sleeping? So notice, in our positive statements, I have been. You have been. We have been. They have been. Here's the change. He has been. She has been. It has been. In our negative statements, notice the not. I have not been. You have not been. We have not been. They have not been. Notice the change. He has not been. She has not been. It has not been. Okay? Questions. A little bit more complicated. We're going to change things here. Have I been? Have you been? Have we been? Have they been? Notice the change here. Has he been? Has she been? Has it been? Okay? All right. So hopefully you understand present perfect continuous forms, how things change here. It's pretty much the same as the other forms, okay, with the exception for questions. Okay, questions change. All right. Okay, so let's move on. Let's get into our books. Page 98. Lesson B, present perfect continuous. Now hopefully this doesn't seem too hard for us. All right. Number 1, grammar focus. Questions and statements with for and since. So now we're going to be using for and since. Okay? Use the present perfect continuous to talk about actions that started in the past, continue to now, and probably continue in the future. All right, so what they've done here is they've added and probably continue in the future. That's fine. All right, but that is present perfect continuous. All right. So now we can look at our questions and hopefully they don't seem too hard. Okay. Let's look at the first one. Question. Have you been living here for a long time? Notice we used for. Have you been living here for a long time? Short answers. Yes, I have. Or the negative. No, I haven't. This next question is talking about somebody else named Tony, right? So notice the change. Has Tony been working here for a long time? Has Tony been working here for a long time? Short answer, positive. Yes, he has. Short answer, negative. No, he hasn't. Third question. Have they been working here for a long time? Have they been working here for a long time? Short answer, positive. Yes, they have. Short answer, negative. No, they haven't. How long have you been looking for a job? Answer, since October. Since October. Let's go down here. Useful language. Use since with specific times. Since 2011. We've talked about since before. Okay? When we're talking about specific times, right? Since 2011. Use for with periods of time. The spans of time, right? For 2 months. For 2 years. For 20 days. For 30 days. Okay? So now we're talking about since. How long has Tony been working as a teacher's assistant? For about a year. How long have they been working at the school? Since October. Okay, so these are all the questions and answers. So let's move down to statements. I have been waiting for a long time. Lida or Lida has been waiting since 2 o'clock. We have been waiting all morning. Okay? So hopefully you understand this. If not, please let me know. You can always email me or send me a message on WhatsApp, and we can go over this. This will probably be a subject that I will go over in our Zoom meetings as well, our weekly Zoom meetings. All right? I just want to make sure that everybody understands present, perfect, continuous. Questions, statements, negative statements with not. They didn't touch that here, but I wanted to make sure you understood it. Okay? And how we answer those questions. We can answer them in short form. Yes. Yes, I have. Or yes, I have been working here for a long time. I also wanted to make sure that we understand how to use for. Use for with periods of time. For example, for 2 months. For a long time. And how we use since. Use since with specific times. For example, since 2011. Since 2 o'clock. All right? All right, so let's move on. Okay, so number 2, practice. Right. Complete the sentences. Use the present perfect continuous tense with for or since. Okay? Use the present perfect continuous tense with for or since. First one is done for us. How long has Talia been practicing? So the word here is practice, right? Been practicing, ing, for her driving test. Answer, for about 3 months. All right, we use for because we're talking about periods of time. All right, let's take a look. Hopefully, yeah, let's take a look at the second one. And hopefully you've had some time to look through this and fill it out, okay? I'm going to tell you what I came up with here. And let's see if we got it correct, all right? Number 2, A. Have you been, the word is work, working here for a long time? Have you been working here for a long time? No, I have not. Or no, I haven't. I started 6 days ago. Number 3. How long has Yin, the word is look, been looking for a job? How long has Yin been looking for a job? Answer, since, because I'm talking about specific time here, since last year. Since last year. Number 4. Has Mr. Rivera, now I'm going to have to use interview. Has Mr. Rivera been interviewing people all day? Has Mr. Rivera been interviewing people all day? Answer, yes, he has. Yes, he has. Number 5. How long have you, now I'm going to use wait. been waiting to get an interview? How long have you been waiting to get an interview? I'm going to use since because since is a specific time and March is very specific. So since March. Since March. All right. Number 6. How long have they? Have they? Now I'm going to use go. How long have they been going to night school? How long have they been going to night school? And then B, this is going to be a period of time for 1 year. For 1 year. Okay? So let's see if you got yours correct. If not, if you think yours, if you came up with something different and you think it's correct, please let me know. Or you have questions, please let me know, and we'll go over it together. Okay? All right, excellent. So let's move on.